Welcome back, my spooky loving cubs. I am, as always, your favorite friendly despair bear, Annakuma, and today we're back with another demo. Today, we'll be talking about the demo for an English haunting. I love that little slip of time known as the Edwardian Age, the obsession with the spiritual and supernatural, and all the crazy little things that came from it. And an English hauntings demo hits that aesthetic perfectly. Will this game be drifting its ghostly way into my life on release? We play as Professor Patrick Moore, who has just been told his meta-psychic investigations department is being closed down, and he has very limited time to prove his investigations into spirits and the supernatural is extremely real, else lose his department completely. This all comes off of the back of his colleague apparently taking off with a giant donation given to the department. Already the demo gives you so many very real-world mysteries that you kind of forget the main bulk of the story is gonna be supernatural. The demo doesn't give you any of the supernatural stuff, and it bases its strength off its writing, puzzle crafting, and nostalgic art style for anyone who is a fan of 90s point-and-click games. And honestly, it bloody damn well works. The trailer makes me excited for the story to come. The demo stands up on its own as an interesting little look into a very well-made game, and I wishlisted this game faster for the witty dialogue and easy to navigate world than I did for any spooky stuff that might show up later. Patrick is just a fantastic character. We start off watching him trying to challenge his class to think outside of a very religious box that they're in. If you don't believe in ghosts, why indeed would you believe in God? His commentary on the world around him, his exasperated nature whilst dealing with those that are close-minded, and general demeanor around other characters is refreshing in some ways. Also, he might have a "I'm the smartest man in the room" air about him. He isn't obnoxious, and he just wants people to look beyond the narrow world that Edwardian England was stuck staring at. Every character you meet as well have their own little personality, their own quirks, and they intrigue me greatly. It was a treat to talk to everyone, whether their dialogue led to anything important or not, and I found myself taking note of characters that probably will be useful in the full game just by what they say to me. Puzzle-wise, there isn't too much to tax the brain in the game. They are pretty well signposted and usually based on inventory items. I did stream my playthrough of the demo, which is up as a VOD if you want to see me go through it, and it took me under 40 minutes to complete, and that would have been with me chatting to people as well. It was a well-constructed demo to give a general feel to how the game will play, and how the characters will feel without giving too much away. One puzzle I really liked was the light puzzle in it. I kind of guessed what the puzzle would be. I loved the execution of it, and even the humor surrounding it. A purse-pinching landlady that won't let the boarders turn on the landing light, having to smash the light to get the spare key to our colleague's room just to hide it in the dark once more from her. It was both an interesting puzzle and a funny way of going about business. The game also doesn't mind blocking you from areas. You can open a bunch of places that you can go to, just not in the demo. Some might not like this, but I think it was a great way of saying to us, hey, look how big this game might actually be, and I think that is pretty fine to do. Whilst I'm talking about that though, I can't not mention just how beautiful the travel screen is. Us traveling in a coach going along an old foggy London street with what looks like a map of London in the background, was an old gramophone-esque song is playing in the background. It is chilling and beautiful and gives the perfect vibe for the game. I could honestly sit on the screen for ages and not get tired of it. The love and detail that went into it generally made me so happy when I saw it for the first time. Whoever made the screen, it's absolute perfection. So far, the demos had quite an interesting soundtrack as well. It is eerie, yet upbeat, and then there's the silent screen in the corridor of the boarding house, with the muffled sound of someone else's music playing and the coughing in the background. It was so very well done. You can feel every intention of the people who created the game and every little detail. Just the busy little noises and those coughs and stuff like that. It just perfectly crafted the atmosphere for the game. I don't really have a negative to this demo, but if there was one little grumble I have, and it's not really a grumble or a negative, is that it's a shame that there is no voice acting or even some kind of noise when the characters are talking. I get where there probably isn't going to be any voice acting. I personally wish I was better at voice acting, so that when I stream this game, I could voice act it. The absolute silence as the talking is happening is distracting at times, but nothing too big. Again, it is a shame, but it isn't really a huge shame. It doesn't ruin the game, but it did stand out enough I wanted to mention it. Then again, a positive is that because I had to read the dialogue, it wasn't too hard to get through. Plus, there was a lot of dialogue in the demo, and I'm sure it'll be a super wordy game with the supernatural aspect and all that. I don't think it's going to lose me like a few games have recently. Whilst I've already mentioned the traveling screen, let me tell you, the game in general is just gorgeous to look at. The pixel art is some of my favorite, and it gives off that feel of the time period it is set in perfectly. I don't feel like it is going to be too hard to figure out what items you can and can't interact with. The hitboxes as you scroll over the screen seem generous enough that waving your pointer over anything obvious looking will give you a good indication of what you can and can't play around with. There doesn't seem to be a button for hotspots, which I'm not too fussed about, but I've noticed people have become extremely fussy about recently in some games. Everything is just so full of little details as well. It is fun to explore around the screen and see what you can find. The lighting is also great. Things like when you finally get into your colleague's bedroom and you have the little dark corner on one side, then the light shining through the window into a little square on the floor, and then the dim glow around the rest of the room are just so important in a game that will tackle the supernatural, and I can't wait to see if the same design quality is kept throughout the game. If I had a concern, my main one would be the story though. I wouldn't even say the demo has set high hopes, it has set adequate hopes. But as the demo really only revolves around finding your way to the spooky mansion that will be setting the rest of the game in, the supernatural element is kind of unknown yet. And whilst I feel the story is going to be fun, and maybe sometimes slightly spooky romp around Edwardian London at the same time, I am slightly worried that the supernatural part of it might end up not hitting home as well as it could. I have no foundations for that worry though, it's just a mild worry I have. That being said, Postmodern Adventures has for sure given us a demo worth getting excited about. With hints of the ominous feeling that I got whilst playing Hob Sparrow, I'm looking forward to diving into the supernatural world of an English haunting. I would also love to point out that this genre of storytelling, spooky and supernatural feeling games, is absolutely perfect for the point-and-click genre, and I hope in the same vein as the aforementioned Hob Sparrow and one of my all-time favorite games, Sally Face, this game is going to be able to balance scary for the sake of scary with actual decent spooky writing that keeps you on the edge of your seat whilst you try to figure it all out. The game was meant to come out on the 15th of May, I believe, but has been postponed. If it launches before this video is published, and if I remember and have time, I will make sure to put a note in that it's been launched. If not, the Steam page will be in the About Me section anyway, so please go and take a look at it. This for me is one of my many must-play games of 2024, and whilst I have It's Grim Up North and Duck Detective to play, I'm extremely excited to dive into this one on stream when the time comes. But for now, we are done with yet another video. Thank you as always for sticking with me. Please feel free to like this video if you did indeed enjoy my ramblings, leave a comment if you have any opinions on the game yourself, and subscribe for more ramblings in the coming weeks. Now for the Twitch plug you all knew was coming. Yes, it's time. As I always say, I am a full-time streamer. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday over at twitch.tv/worker89. You get to see this bare face for up to 8 hours a day while we play all sorts of games. As of writing this video, we're doing Cats with Other Lives, a wonderful pixel adventure where you play as a cat, King's Quest VI to an absolute classic in the point-and-click genre, and we're still going through with our Danganronpa 2 playthrough as well. My community will always be my biggest positive to join us over there. They can be funny, there are way too many puns, and sometimes I let them play games with me, and they do wonderful things whilst threatening each other over a game of golf. And I am not joking. But if you want to support me even more, a follow over my Twitch channel will for sure be a lot of help. We're aiming for 1k followers by the end of the year, and as this is my full-time job, any new friends are always welcome. I don't know when I'll be back, as always. I'm hoping that the videos keep rolling for you guys, but until then, please keep clear of any ghostly goings-on, don't run off with a lot of money, and leave your partners out to dry. Keep safe, thank you as always for watching, and bye-bye.